In this tape, we're going to take a look at some general site errors. So you can see that I have a website open, and we're just going to work with this one and test it through the wave testing. So I simply have to put the URL in the little wave test and hit go. Since I'm doing an entire video just on images, I'm not going to focus on images in this tape. So we're going to take a look at the other errors that are involved. And by that I mean the errors around the top and the sidebar, and if any are in the footer. And this tool is really neat. First it tells you how many errors you have, but if you click on the little flag, it will then give you the details of the errors, and you can click on each error and it will show you where the error is. So that's kind of cool. You can look around and examine that for yourself. The error that we're going to look at first is the header at the top. So to correct that, we just simply have to go to our website, and not everyone will have this error, but if you do, here's the way to correct it. I'm going to go to the website and into Manage Sites. There's an area right at the very beginning of this that you need to have your title in, and click Show Title. Because Google has left this placeholder, Wave wants us to fill it. So I'm filling it with our title, and you can see it shows up right underneath your image if you have one. And I'm going to kind of hide that in the background by making the making it very small, 8 points, and having it be the same color as the background. So I could save that, and we could check back on Wave, and they won't have an issue with that anymore. We'll refresh the screen. So that's one down. Next, I'd like to address the footer. Every site should have a footer. This one didn't have the footer activated, so I'm going into the Edit Site Layout. I click on Custom Footer, and now I can see my footer. And first thing I'm going to do is make sure it has the correct information in here, so I'm putting the school name in. And now I'm going to turn this into Header 1. So I'm highlighting it and going up to my formatting. Now Google does not have an option for Header 1, it just starts with Header 2. However, Wave is looking for something to say Header 1. So a way that we can get around this is to go into the HTML code and change the H2, which stands for Header 2, to H1. That way Wave will be happy, and every page, because it's in your footer, will have a Header 1 on it. You'll notice I had to change that in 2 places. The header has an open code, which is the brackets and just H1 or H2, and a closing code, which is a slash and then H1 or H2. So change both of them to be the same, to H1. Now I'm also searching for my image tag, so IMG will take me to my image where I can see it has an alt code, but it's not very good one. It's just the URL link. So I'm going to change that code to be a little bit more to the point. So I'm just going to call it the Lancaster School District image link, which will open in a new window. There's one other thing that we are all required to have on every page of our website, and that is the little ADA link, which will send people to our policies and procedures. So I will give you a link that you can use, and even a little bit of code if you wanted to drop it into your footer. Next, on the sidebar, we've got an image that doesn't have a title on it. and this is considered an error, again, because there's like a placeholder but nothing in it. So I'm just going to put something in there, and I want to get to my image code so that I can see if there's an alt tag on the picture. So same thing again, I'm going to fix the alt tag and add Lancaster School District image. Link will open in a new window. And I can verify that by seeing the blank, because for some reason my image properties aren't coming up on that picture, but hopefully that won't happen to you. So I'm closing this up and jumping back to Wave, and I have already refreshed my screen. So let's take a look right here. I immediately noticed that I had this website down to only one contrast error. So I guess it's very important that as you're going through these steps that you don't end up with something like what just happened here. One thing that I was correcting triggered an error on the contrast side. So let's look at this and figure out why. And because I didn't have any headers before, I didn't know that the color that was chosen for the header is not quite dark enough. So I don't even want it to be this blue-green. I'm going to make it the blue of the background. So we can correct that by going back to the site and into Manage Sites, the color fonts, and again we're on the sidebar, and this time we're going to take a look at the title, the background, and the title. So we're going to change the color of the title to the same blue as the background. Hit save. I can jump back to Wave, refresh it, and now I'm back down to one error, which is just the powered by Google at the bottom. Okay, so that has completed all the errors that were on the outside and the general areas of this website. In the next video, we're going to take apart images and the image codes so that you'll be able to upload images better or correct any images that you currently have on your site.